How many sports do you know? What kind of sports do you know? What kind of sports do you play, watch, and so on. I will speak about sports from some point of view. At first, I will speak about Japanese sports. These are Japanese traditional sports. Judo, Japanese archery, karate, sumo, and so on. Many of Japanese traditional sports are influenced by samurai spirit. It's a pride of being strong and brave. But now, Japanese popular sports are different from these things. They are football, baseball, tennis, sumo, and golf are also popular in Japan. 7.3 million people play baseball, 7.5 million people play football, 3.7 million people play tennis. And why is it popular now? Baseball has a long history. The Japanese Baseball League was established in 1936, and there are a lot of major leagues now. But football does not have a long history. But football is the most popular global sport. For the World Cup is held by every 4 years. And in Japan, Japan won the Women's World Cup in 2011. Kei Nishikori is influenced the popularity of tennis. Before, Japanese player didn't reach world level, but he changed this tendency. Kei Nishikori is the first Japanese finalist to play in Grand Slam. In fact, the number of children who play tennis is increasing. However, popular sports are not necessarily strong sports. Japanese strong sports are baseball, swimming, gymnastics, wrestling, and table tennis, and so on. Why are swimming, gymnastics, wrestling strong sports despite not being as popular as baseball, football, and tennis? This reason, Japanese elementary school students have to attend swimming class. So, a lot of Japanese people can swim. Or there are a lot of amateurs. And there are a lot of pools in Japan. Gymnastics and wrestling also need good surroundings. And they are connected with the spirit of patience and hard working. It's like samurai spirit. Traditional sports, popular ones, and strong sports are different, are not necessarily connected completely, but they have different factors. I think that these tendencies can be seen in New Zealand sports.
And now I'd like to talk about the popular sports in New Zealand. First, what sports do you think are popular in New Zealand? I think cricket. Yeah. I think there are a lot of popular sports in New Zealand, but I'll introduce seven popular sports. Of course, you know rugby and cricket, netball, soccer, skiing, trekking, and sailing. I think you might not know what trekking is. Trekking is one of sports similar to hiking. People enjoy walking in the mountain. Trekking is called tramping in New Zealand. Now I'd like to talk about three sports of them which are not familiar to Japanese people. Those three sports are cricket, netball, and sailing. First, cricket. In cricket, 11 people per team compete with a bat and a ball. It's said to be the origin of baseball. In 2015, the World Cup of Cricket was held in Australia and New Zealand. Do you know the national team of New Zealand? Yeah.
New Zealand won that game yesterday with Pakistan. I watched it in the middle of the night.
The national team of New Zealand is called the Black Caps. In the World Cup of Cricket in 2015, the Black Caps reached the finals but lost to Australia. Second, netball. Netball is one of the popular sports for women. It's based on basketball. Netball is popular mainly in the UK and the countries which used to be its colonies. I think you might not imagine, but more than 20 million people enjoy playing netball. Most women in New Zealand would have played during the school days. What do you think the national team of New Zealand is called?
Super Ferns?
Yeah. It's called the Silver Ferns. Silver. The championship of netball has been held once every 4 years since 1963. You might be surprised, but the prize winner has been only Australia and New Zealand. In 2003, the Silver Ferns won, but after that, Australia won all of 2007, 2011, and 2015. Third, sailing. Sailing is one of the popular water sports. New Zealand is famous for sailing. One of the famous sailing teams is the Team New Zealand. The members of it are from Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. Many people in New Zealand like to make their own boats, and a lot of children are growing up with yacht training. The Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron introduced a youth program in 1986 and has been training many promising young sailors. And the Waterwise program is one of those programs. Waterwise is a coined word from water and wise. It's a school-based program for years 5 to 9. Children enjoy water sports and learn a lot of things, many safety knowledges on the water side. So the system of sailing is already prepared in New Zealand, but on the other hand, some of good sailors in New Zealand are poached by rivals. So far, I've been talking about popular sports in New Zealand, but I think you want to know what sports are really popular in New Zealand. So I interviewed few people, what sports do you think are popular in New Zealand? And you helped me with this interview. Thank you. According to this interview, I made a personal ranking of popular sports in New Zealand. The most popular sports for boys, rugby, and the second is soccer, the third is cricket, and the most popular sports for girls is netball, and the second is soccer, the third is cricket. Surprisingly, the second and the third are the same sport both for boys and for girls.
In New Zealand, rugby is the most popular sport. Soccer is not. But we saw a lot of children playing soccer in New Zealand. And in the primary school, soccer is the most popular sport. I asked some children from St. Harry School what sports they like. They said, soccer. I like soccer very much. Woo! Yeah. However, the New Zealand national soccer team is not so strong. I thought
Why is New Zealand national soccer team weak? Do you know what the national New Zealand team is called? Yeah. Because the uniform is white, the national team of New Zealand is called all whites. But compared to All Blacks, they are very weak. They qualified and participated in World Cup only 2 times. And their FIFA ranking, which is ranking of the world, is 149th place. Very weak. By the way, Japan's national soccer team participated in World Cup 5 times, and their ranking is 56th place. In this university, I asked some of the students, "Do you like soccer?" Then they answered, "I don't like soccer. I like rugby." And one student said, "Soccer is very boring sport to play and watch." Because I love soccer, I was very surprised. And I thought that here was the secret of New Zealand weakness. And so I asked to Dr. John, asked it to Dr. John. According to him, most mothers want her children to play soccer instead of rugby because they don't hurt their heads when they are tackled. In school, children play touch rugby rather than proper rugby with tackles so that their heads are protected. Adults playing rugby don't usually wear head gear for protection. In other words, mother wants her children to be safe. So most of children do not continue to play soccer. While I have been in New Zealand, I thought that New Zealand soccer could become stronger if children continue to play soccer. There are 3 reasons for this. First, they have a lot of grass court. In Japanese, shiba. Yeah. New Zealanders would call these playing fields. Most of countries do not have such courts. When children are young, they can become good players with a lot of practice in grass court. And second, the sun does not set very early. So children can play for a long time after school. Third, skilled people's physical level is high. There is one Japanese whose name is Hiroshi Miyazawa. He thought about the same as me. He was a professional Japanese player, a soccer player, but now he teaches soccer to Kiwi children. He believes that New Zealand soccer is becoming stronger than it was. The children who are taught by him in New Zealand are playing in the world now.
I will show you other example of sports cultural changes between New Zealand and Japan. First, what do you think is the most popular sport in New Zealand? Sorry, same question. Yes, it's rugby. And there are many types of rugby exchanges for Japanese in New Zealand. Rugby exchanges are now in the spotlight because Japan will host the World Cup of Rugby in 2019, And because New Zealand is a powerhouse in rugby. For example, rugby players enter a local high school that is famous for its strong rugby club. They may participate in a sports academy held by local high school in New Zealand, or they may experience short period English and rugby training program during summer vacation and so on. Recently, rugby has become very popular in Japan, so in my opinion, the number of people who try rugby exchanges will increase. The next example of sports culture exchanges is about baseball. The New Zealand national rugby team is the All Blacks, and the New Zealand national soccer team is the All Whites, as you just said. So then, what is the name of the New Zealand national baseball teams?
Diamondbacks.
Yeah, you got it. It's Diamondbacks. It's Diamondbacks. Most of you don't know this name. It's so famous even in New Zealand. And do you know Naoyuki Shimizu?
Yes.
Yes. He was a professional baseball player of Chiba Lotte and Yokohama Bay Stars. He is called DNA Japan. Yeah. And he retired in 2014 and came here to show baseball to Kiori children. And he also took the post of assistant general manager of New Zealand baseball. However, in New Zealand, baseball is less popular than cricket or softball, so it is difficult to increase the popularity of baseball. But he makes efforts for baseball in New Zealand. As I mentioned before, we have a lot of sports culture exchanges. Personally, I think friendly competition among sportsmen, in Japanese sessa-takuma, is necessary for improvement of each country's sports team's level. Sports culture exchanges are good ways to improve.
From now, I'm going to talk about bungee jumping. First, I will talk about history of bungee jumping. There is a legend which says that bungee jumping first appeared on Pentecost Island in the South Pacific. According to this legend, one of the natives, Tamalai, was abusing his wife, and she decided to run away. She climbed a tall tree to hide, but he found her and climbed after her. While he was climbing, she tied up lianas or vines around her ankles, and in the moment Tamalai tried to catch her, she jumped from the tree. Tamalai jumped after her, hit the ground and died. From that day on, the men in the village started practicing jumping with lianas around their ankles so that women couldn't outwit again. The tradition has been retained until today and has become a tourist attraction. We wanted to go through bungee jumping in the birthplace of it, so we went to this bungee site called Skyscreamer and did reverse bungee jumping. It's not a normal bungee jumping, but a kind of bungee jump. It started at the ground and goes straight up the sky, and this is what happened. Let's take a look. And please pay attention to the guy on the left. reaction, so let's ask him how he was and what you felt through bungee jump.
Scared. Because I don't like a high place. but bungee jump is more scary than reverse bungee jump. I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And so we have now experienced bungee jumping, which was invented in New Zealand, but honestly, we didn't even know about it until this January. Now, do Kiwis know the traditional Japanese sports? To find out, I sent out a questionnaire to Kiwis. First question was, do you know the traditional Japanese sports? And all Kiwis know it. Second question was, how did you know it? And as you can see, Kiwis know it from a lot of means. And last question was, have you ever played it? And yes, nobody has played any of the traditional sports. Then how we can share another country's sports? We knew the bungee jump by using the internet. And now we know the fun through our experience. So I can tell people close to me about the fun of it. Then if they experience it themselves, they can call other people, they can tell other people, and by repeating this, the sports will be spread to the world. Accepting another country's sports means accepting different cultures in a sense. We can accept a whole lot of different cultures by experiencing their sports and telling other people about them. I hope that people in the world can learn about each other's sports and each other different cultures. That's all. Thank you very much.